What's good, everybody? It's your girl Naja Lee, and guess what? We back with another episode of Beyond the Lens TV. Her court, her rules, WNBA conscious coverage. Listen, I'm excited because we got some games tonight, man. We got some games, and we back with another game time prediction. First up, Dallas Wings again facing, unfortunately, the Minnesota Lynx. More than likely probably gonna win the championship this year, but that's between us, right? So we opened the W season just a couple days ago with this matchup. Okay. So we're gonna start with just going around. We're gonna take it back and we're gonna unpack the first time they played, and then we're gonna predict what could potentially happen this time. Now, during the season, they play 4 times. So they're going to get to know each other very, very well. And if there's a situation where Dallas makes the playoffs, they might see each other again in the first round. Okay. Because Minnesota is probably going to have a number 1 or number 2 ranking this year. Fast forward another 42 games down the line, where do you think Minnesota is going to be ranked? I think they're going to be ranked within the top 3. So if they're going to be ranked that high, of course, given, you know, Big Fifi out here, and she's projected to more than likely win that MVP race. And if anybody was paying attention last year, low-key, Shorty could have got it last year. I mean, really, it was as close as Jokic and Shea. Like, it was as close in the NBA. So I'm comparing it a little bit. Right here, over here on Beyond the Lens TV, we really only focus on women's basketball, but just to kind of bridge the gap a little bit, just to let you know how close the race was all season between Jokic and SGA. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? That's exactly what it was last year when it was Asia against Fee. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Now, they both had phenomenal seasons, right? Asia, just was Asia. I think this year, Fee is Fee. Now, we've seen what she did in game 1 against Dallas, right? On the opener of the W season this year. We already saw what she did. She gave us 34 of them big ones, right? Whew. And I know everybody's seen the stat, but let's just talk about it. So that would have been the record on the opening night as far as points are concerned. The dog Kelsey Plum came in and said, "Nah, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need to hold that. I'm gonna need that. Need parts of that." So she went on to up the ante another 3 points and had set the record at 37. Get back to the point at hand. What you talking about, Naj? I'm talking about Dallas Wings versus Minnesota Lynx. So they face each other tonight, game 2, 8 o'clock, right here on League Pass. Right out the gate, the matchup predictor via ESPN Analytics already got Minnesota Lynx winning, clearly 77.3%. So, yeah, and I think it's going to go pretty much like that. Here's why. Let's break it down. The first outing, everybody know, Rike didn't really shoot that well. She didn't shoot that well. And it's kind of strange because I thought she was going to have I thought she probably was going to set the tone as far as scoring is concerned on the opening night of the W. Beside the point, tonight's matchup, I think she's going to give us exactly what we thought she was going to give us game 1. I'm going to just put it out there and say Enrique probably going to give us between 27 and 32. I say about 27 and 32. Right. Points, that is. What she needs to do, though, is Enrique has to go to a get my team in the offense, have that mindset first, and then a scores mindset second. Here's why. Because when you are the focus of the offensive strategy, the defense is going to do everything they can to go ahead and eliminate you from the board. So it's two ways they can approach it as from a defensive mindset. You know Enrique is going to be their number one scorer. Two ways you can approach this as a defense strategy. You can say, we're going to go ahead and let Enrique get what she going to get, shut everybody else down. Or we're going to go ahead and shut Enrique down and force everybody else to score. Game one, it seemed like they took the second approach. They kind of took Enrique out of the game, and it made it difficult for everybody else to get in the game, right? So here's what I suggest. Flipping the script. Allow Enrique, because shout out to Notre Dame. It's almost like I went there or something, because all the players out of Notre Dame, I just love them, right? I just love their tenacity. I love the way they think. I love the way, they hustle on the floor. I love the way they leave it all on the court. But I think Enrique needs to go ahead and level up her game a little bit. Here's why. And I'm going to just draw a comparison. See, I'm from Cleveland, and I love my Cleveland Cavs, right? Although they were a huge disappointment this season, but that's beyond the point. Let's go beyond the lens real quick. Donovan Mitchell took a step backwards offensively as far as usage, scoring, minutes, just so he can get his team more involved and empower the players on his squad to take that next level up. What happened? Evan Mobley this season became the defensive player of the year. More aggressive, handling the ball, getting to his spots without waiting on the point guard to deliver him the rock. Fast forward, what you getting to, Naj? I'm getting to this. That's exactly what Enrique needs to do. She needs to take that step back from being that number one focus, although she's always going to be the number one focus. She's a dog. But controlling the offense to a point where she's just not, I got to get 2 points, I got to go hit. No, you can get those same 2 points by making sure somebody else is in the right spot and you giving them the pass. The thing about being a 3-level scorer is, like Enrique, is that nobody can truly stop your game, because you can score on all 3 levels and you can finish the and one. So one would say that's probably 3.5, 4 levels, if you ask me. But when you're that much of a threat, getting to the basket, getting your floater off, can stop and pop the mid range, obviously a deadly threat from the 3-point line, and can take the contact, got mad handles, got speed, got a little size, got the body mass where she can contact. What's that? When she becomes more of a, I'm going to take this quarter, I'm going to take about 5 minutes out of the first quarter, you know what I mean? A couple, the top of the quarters, and just distribute. I'm going to get to my bucket, get to my spot, and make them think I'm about to hit the floater, make them think I'm about to go all the way to the rack to get the contact. Dish, dish, dish. Similar to Chelsea Gray. I think the next level in Enrique's game is becoming more determined to get other people easy buckets, because she can score the hard buckets. That this team is going to be successful when she's making the buckets around her, the teammates around her, when she's making their shots easier. So the best could potentially be the best backcourt could potentially be Enrique and Paige. Give it about 2-3 more years. Yeah. I mean, look at where Caitlin and Kelsey Mitchell is as a backcourt. Some will argue that they already got the best backcourt, at least offensively. I think they can have the best backcourt, Paige and Enrique, all the way around. Again, we not talking about the OGs, the Courtney and the Fee. We not talking about them. Those backcourts are already cemented. We're talking about the up and coming best backcourts. You know what I mean? Like the Ryan Howards and the Alicia Grays and things like that. That's what we're talking about. So Paige and Enrique definitely can have that Batman, Robin, that Jordan Pippen thing, because they can do both things as far as offensively and defensively. Defensively, they both want to be engaged on both sides of the court. Nobody ducking no smoke there. They both can pass. They both can go down there and get you a rebound. I'm saying all that to say this. Once those two develop the chemistry, I'm not even going to give it all season. They're going into their third game. I think by game 25-ish, it might get dark out there for them. It might be lights out for a lot of people. Because once Arike understands where Paige's spots are, how she like to get the rock. Yeah, Paige ain't one to take a lot of dribbles. Arike don't mind dribbling a lot, but Paige is a 2 to 3 dribble girl. She want to hit a move, get to her spot, get the shot up, or hit her move, get to the spot and hit the pass. Once they figure out how many dribbles, what spots, they got to play into that. Again, the WNBA season starts so fast from when the college basketball season ends that there's no real time to really develop the chemistry. You know what I mean? You have college players that are coming into the league. They just trying to get adjusted to the league. They relocating, they doing a lot. So now trying to get adjusted to your teammates, especially one that's a ball handler, especially one that's a scorer, especially, one that already made her name. And Paige is coming in to not only assist, but to also be dominant. It's going to take a little time. Then you got that I always talk about the dark horse. I always talk about the dark horse that you need to watch every single game. Hines Allen. You gotta watch her. She's a big. She giving you 7 points a game, but guess what? Hines Allen can probably average on this team this season, the way it's constructed, 15 to 17, maybe 18. She probably would top out this year with a game high, or a season high, right around 25, right? But offensively, because she's so talented, she got the mid range. She definitely got the post game, and she can get to the free throw line. When you start having that pick and roll between her and Paige, you're going to have to make a very wise decision. Who you going to roll with? Are we just going to switch? If you switch, Or we just going to hedge and maybe show a trap, but hurry up and get back. Guess what? Hines Allen is fast. So she can set that screen. She can roll to the basket quick, or she can just sag out, pop out on these. You hear me? And then Paige can go either way off the screen. She can fake like she coming off the screen and then step back. She can fake like she gonna take the screen and don't still go to the left or still go to the right, wherever the same direction of the screen. And you know how dope that is to have a Paige and a Hines Allen running the 2-on-2? That takes the ball out of Arike's hands. Now, what's she doing when the ball ain't in her hand? She running. The thing about Arike is she don't mind moving around the court to get open. And the defenders don't like chasing her around the court because she got a tank. She's fast. So I really believe that it's going to take a couple of games for them to understand the chemistry. But once they do, it's going to be dark. Okay. Got a couple of injuries. Kayla McBride is out. She's saying that she might be returning sometime around the 22nd, 23rd or so. She's now out for injury. She's just out for personal reasons. She's probably tired. I ain't gonna hold you. She went from the WNBA season, had a little bit of break. She balled out in her Unrivaled, and now the WNBA season is just right around the corner. So, but you know what? Special shout out to Napheesa. Special shout out to her for even, her and Brianna Stewart and all the great people at Unrivaled, for even giving us another level of high-end women's basketball competition that we can watch and watch our faves outside of the WNBA in a completely different format. You could tell that the sponsors and all the investors are really putting down the work and investing blood, sweat, and tears to make sure that a rival is here to stay. So definitely big shout out to them. Again, shout out to women's sports all across the globe. It's an exciting time to be a fan of women's sports. It's even better to be a fan of the WNBA and women's basketball, right? So that's one injury. Kayla McBride, she's not injured, but she's out. Alana Smith, they're saying she's a game time decision. She may return today. Now, if she does, that's going to make that matchup predictor even more. Well, it will be her first game, but in my book, in my eyes, it'll make that prediction even more apparent who's going to win. We still don't know. We gotta wait to find out. But I believe that although Minnesota Lynx may win and pretty much should win, I think it's going to be much closer than what the first game was. The final box score of game one, again, opening the W season this year, this past Friday. It was Lynx. They had finished the game with 99 points, and the Wings finished the game with 84 points. So I think it might be a little bit closer, you know. And Paige, her last game is coming off some really good stats. So she finished the game with 19 points and 9 rebounds. So Paige is actually averaging 14.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Again, she's a rookie. Again, she ain't just no any rookie. She ain't just no any rookie. You heard those stats? She had 19 points and 8 assists and 6 rebounds when they played Seattle. You hear what I'm saying? 19 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. That's a triple-double watch. Think she gonna get close to that tonight? Because the competition is a little bit different when you come to Minnesota, because again, they went to the finals last year. They pressing everybody. They want to let the people know that we probably should have won last year, and we gon' run through everybody till we get back. So I think that Paige is still going to have a pretty good game. I think tonight's game, Paige going to get her first double-double. I think Paige going to get her first double-double. I think she's going to have 10 assists because Enrique is going to have to give you 25 points. So if Enrique is giving you 25 points, they're not going to all be one-on-one. Let me break down the defense. Paige is going to help Enrique open and help the offense open up a little bit more, space out a little bit more, because eventually the people are going to be double teaming Paige. And she's unselfish. I mean, she comes from a Geno system. She understands the game. Speaking of that, I think it's going to take her a little bit more time. Like I said, I'm giving them about 20 games to get the chemistry, but I think it's going to take Paige a little bit more time, probably about 10 games or so. But I'm going to round it out and say 20 for her to understand that this ain't Geno's system. When we need you to go get a bucket, and that's what every 5 or 6 possessions we need Paige to go get a bucket. Go and get that bucket. Don't worry about swing. You go get it. Your turn. Not to say that her and Enrique gonna have to trade off. You score, I score. You score, I score. No, everybody got to move the ball and get into their spots, and you know what I mean, circulate the ball. Because the first outing against the Wings, they had really good ball distribution. I mean, everybody's taking the main people are taking around the same amount of shots. You know what I mean? Are right around 10 shots. Now we want Enrique to be not necessarily having to dominate in usage, but Enrique, if she not taking between 15 17 shots, you know, and I kind of want her to be taking about 20 shots a game, but if she not taking about 15 17 shots a game, she's slacking. She's got to take that many shots, and she has to be efficient. So she needs to be somewhere in a high 40 48 from the field and about 39-40 from the threes. Enrique got the game. They hit that 90 club, that 90-50-40 club, whatever they call it. You know what I mean? You know, I probably got the 40s and the 50s mixed match, but you know what I'm talking about. You give me a little grace, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? That being said, I got Paige today. My spidey senses are telling me double 15 and 10. And she probably gonna be on the board 5. So be on the watch for the triple double watch with Paige tonight. 15 and 10 though, I got her. 15 points, 10 assists. I got Enrique scoring 25. Again, I got it a lot closer of a matchup. I still got Courtney doing what she gonna do. I mean, she's a big time baller. She's gonna assist. Courtney Williams is averaging 9.5 assists this season. Crazy. Okay. And mind you guys, Courtney Williams was not always a point guard. She has elevated her game to the level whereas you just want her on the court. I don't give a dang on what's going on. Put her on the court and put the ball in her hands. And her and Napheesa make a great. We've been watching Courtney for a long time. She been a clutch player her whole career. I want to sound like I'm from St. Louis. Career. Her whole career. But her with Fee and then them together in the playoffs. All I'm saying is we know what Courtney Williams gonna do. She's very solid, very consistent, and her and Napheesa just make a great pair. So again, we probably gonna have Napheesa with another 30 ball. We probably gonna have Courtney Williams with another 15 and 9, which means that the game is gonna be a lot closer. Because Enrique, she gotta score 25. Paige gotta be 15, 6 and 6, something like that. 15, 8 and 6. You know what I mean? Not 8 and 6, 15, 6 and 8. Okay, she's got to be up there closer to the double digits in assists. I need at least 5 boards, and she got the size. The more comfortable she gets in the W and just understanding speed, you know, how long it take you to get to your spots, understanding that the level of competition as far as defensively, who's checking you, they're going to be more aggressive once she becomes to be more comfortable with it. And it's like, it's just second nature. It's going to be dark in Dallas. So tonight, my prediction. What you got, Naj? What you got for us? Again, I got the projected MVP doing what she does best. Everything. Scoring, rebounding, assisting, and just being completely dominant. And selfless. But she understands when it's time to be selfish. Because at the end of the day, when she plays well, the team plays well. And when she plays well, the team wins. Not often does she play well and the team loses. And that's a stat we need to start tracking. I don't care how good you are. If you busting 8, but your team losing, figure out how to get your team more involved. So that's my prediction for today's matchup. The second matchup of 4 between the Dallas Wings and the Minnesota Lynx. It's going to be a good one. Okay, so let me know in the comments who y'all got. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe to the channel. We got more stuff coming. A lot more stuff coming. If you scroll through the channel, kind of see what we got going on. If you hit the playlist on the videos, you see we got everything broken down. So this segment is a part of Her Court, Her Rules. If you keep going through and keep looking, you'll see that we talk about a lot of different things over here that is conscious focus, right? So whether we're talking about streetwear, whether we're talking about building your brand, whether we're talking about, you know, how to stay resilient and rooted, it's all coming from higher consciousness and just a level that's evolving, you know, humanity and love and appreciation for everybody that's out here. You feel me? We all one race living on this one planet trying to make it do what it do, baby. So let's go ahead and make it do what it do. Hit that subscribe. Tune in to the next episode. Make sure you watching WNBA. Make sure you getting that WNBA League Pass app. You feel me? And I believe this week there's a free trial on the League Pass. Free League Pass preview May 16th through 21st. So if you download the League Pass app today through May 16th through the 21st, so today's your last day that you can check it out for the free ski. You can go ahead and watch that Wings and the Lynx game tonight. So We see y'all on the next go. It's your girl Naja Lee, Beyond the Lens TV. Free Lenz.